Hi friends, it's Marty here again. Welcome to my tiny teeny kitchen. Today I'm going to be making a Christmas treat, but the reason I'm making it now, I know it's very early, but I'm going to be visiting some friends just before Canadian Thanksgiving, which is next week. And I wanted to make these, what some people call Russian tea cakes, Mexican wedding cookies, snowballs, because I'm not going to be able to see them around the holidays. So I wanted to bring this over to them because my understanding is that they really enjoy them. I have not brought them over to them before, but they've told me that they really, really love these cookies. And if I could bring them over, they'd really appreciate it. Now, one of the things that I have found, and I've read from other people that post, is that either the yield isn't right, they wind up with a lot fewer cookies than was posted on there, or they don't cook up in the amount of time that was recommended, which should be around 7 to 8 minutes, or the cookies just flatten out. So it's very easy. This does not have any eggs. It's just all-purpose flour, a little bit of salt, a little bit of vanilla extract, and ground walnuts and powdered sugar. And the powdered sugar goes into the batter, and also we use it for rolling the cookies once they come out of the oven. So we're just going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to taste test these and see if this really, really works out. I've pre-measured my ingredients and I have them out here, okay? So I've put it out here for you to all see. It's 1 cup of butter, which is 226 grams of room temperature, nice soft butter. And also 1/2 cup of powdered sugar, which is 60 grams. In here, I have already mixed my 2 1/4 cups all-purpose flour, which is 270 grams, with a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Mixed that up really well. And in my mini chopper, I went ahead and chopped up 3/4 cup of roasted walnuts. And that's about 90 grams. And what I did is I roasted them, let them cool off really, really well so they don't come out with walnut butter, and then went ahead and put them through my little mini chopper. And also I have my measuring teaspoons here because I'm going to be measuring out or rolling out these little balls into 1 tablespoon allotments. And also I have some vanilla paste because I don't have vanilla extract. And I'm going to be making everything in my KitchenAid mixer. All right, I'm going to start out by adding my softened butter, and to this I'm going to add my powdered sugar. All right, I'm just going to give this a little scraping down here just to make sure that everything's been fully incorporated and it all looks really good. Now what I'm going to do is add a little bit of my vanilla paste. Calls for a teaspoon. I'm not going to take out a teaspoon just for that, so I'm just going to do a little eyeball. A little bit of extra vanilla never hurt anybody. And I find that vanilla bean paste is really concentrated, so I'm not really all that worried about that. Okay. Okay, that looks pretty good. So now I'm going to add the flour until it's fully incorporated. And then after that, we'll add the walnuts. Now I'm going to add the nuts. And again, just until blended. The cookie dough is done. I'll show you what it looks like. There we go. And so I've got my oven preheating at 375, and I'm going to roll them out and put them in my already lined parchment paper tray. This is the same tray that I used to roast the walnuts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test this out and see if using a tablespoon, as is recommended per the recipe, if I will actually get anywhere around 36 cookies. I don't know. I don't know, but we'll find out together. All right, let's see. We're going to try one out. Also, if you find that this is a little too soft, you can go ahead and put this in the refrigerator until it gets a little bit more easier to manage, where it's not so soft. All right, let's try one out. That looks like a tablespoon to me. Roll it out and put them on my tray. Okay, so we're just going to continue doing these. Now, listen, if any of you have ever heard of a very old-fashioned cookie called Austrian form cookies, and I'm not talking about the ones that are the walnut ones that are filled with dulce de leche. My mother-in-law, who passed away, by the way, a while ago, used to make these beautiful cookies that were called, she called them Austrian form cookies. And she had an old recipe card that she brought out every Christmas. And we used to make batches of this to give to everybody. But they were made pretty much like this, from what I remember. But they were not made into balls. They were actually pressed into little cookie tins that look like this. I'll show you what they look like. They look like this. And then we'd bake them and then turn them over, and you'd have the prettiest little shape. And then we'd dust them with sugar, with the powdered sugar. And everybody just went nuts over them. I've tried using this recipe because this is how I remember the flavor being just like this. I've tried it. I've tried making it in the molds just like she did. And I would put them in the refrigerator. But it just has never turned out. And I don't know if it's that it required more flour or if it required more nuts. I'm not quite sure. I don't know if any of you know what I'm talking about. I'd love to hear from you. Anyway, so I'm just going to continue doing this, and we'll see how many we actually get. I can see one's actually bigger than the other. My understanding is not to press them too tightly either. So we'll see. As luck would have it, I ran out of powdered sugar, so I had to run to the store to get some. But that's okay, because it gave these cookies time to cool down so that they're ready for the second coating. There you go. This is what they look like. Not bad, not bad. They really kept their shape. All right, let's go ahead and finish it off and see what it looks like. I wouldn't recommend using like a sieve to dust them on, because you really want these to be really well coated. You want them to like look like tiny little snowballs. I hope that's coming through fine. I know my lighting is not the best. And once they've cooled down really well, you'll find that that's when the sugar really sticks to this quite nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish these off. Okay, this is what I have left over. Not a lot of sugar, so I did well. How much sugar do you need? I don't know. Whatever you need. Look at that. Yeah. It's time to give these a little taste. Look at this. Don't they look great? All right. Honestly, I really think that they are not finely ground is going to make a big difference. But let's see. It's all in the taste test. This is going to be messy, guys, and I apologize for that. Oh my God. Look at that. They melt in your mouth. You can make 2 bites out of this, or you can make 3 bites out of it, or you can make just 1 bite. Anyway, if you've ever felt the challenge in that you're wedding cookies, your Russian tea cookies, snowballs, whatever you call them. Try and see if maybe not overly, how do you say that? Overly chopping or making the ground walnuts or whatever nuts you're using too fine. See if that makes a difference. Because I'm telling you, I've tried, all recipes are pretty much the same. Pretty much the same. They all have pretty much the same amount of flour and powdered sugar and all that other good stuff. No eggs. No eggs in these cookies. And they all recommend the same baking amount, the same baking time. But I really have never had success in these cookies yielding as many as they always say in their posts, or them staying nicely round. I mean, they are going to get, you know, just a little flat. They have to, right? Because you're sitting on a pan. But they certainly don't flatten out. They still keep a lot of their shape. Anyway, I hope that you all enjoyed this, and I thank you so much for letting me share some time with you. And I'm gonna pack these up in a pretty little box to take them over to my friends tomorrow. I'll see you soon.